Good noon to all. Today discuss about the Cppde and PDPE unit number 8 and 9. Alternative investment આપણે જોવાના છે. Most important method. Now the alternatives when an investment must be made અને basis પર. Okay, for a graphical system માં જોઈશું આપણે. Now previous section માં આપણે જોઈએ તો some method and then the determination acceptance return. Now complete the discussion part. Alternative investment. In industrial operation, it is often possible to produce some equivalent product in a different ways, although the physical return may be approximately the same. The capital required and the expenses involved can vary considerably depending on the particular method. Choose similarly alternative investment method. Okay, although the physical result may be approximately the same, capital invest required and the expenses involved can vary considerably depending on the particular method. Choose similarly alternative method involving very capital and expenses can often to be used carry out other types of businesses, ventures and many necessaries. Therefore, not only to decide if a given business venture when the profitable, but also to decide which of all several possible method would be most desirable, and the final decision has to be based among alternative investment is simplified. It is recognized that each dollar of additional investment should yield an adequate rate of return. In a practical situation, there are usually a limited number of choices, and the alternative must be compared on the basis of the incremental increases in the necessary capital investment. Some example જોઈશું આપણે following simple example illustrate the principle of investment comparison. A chemical company is considering adding a new production unit which will be required a total investment of 1,20,000 or 12 lakh rupees and will yield an annual profit of this 2,40,000. An alternative addition has been proposed requiring an investment some profit 2 million and yielding an annual profit of 3 lakh rupees. Although both of these proposals are based on the reliable estimates, the company executives feel that other equally sound investment can be made with at least 14% annual rate of return. Therefore, the minimum rate of return is required for the new rate of return investment some 14% only. ઓકે, ઓલમોસ્ટ આપણે બધી પ્રોફિટેબિલિટી અને એના ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ બધા જોઈ ગયા છે દરેક બેસિસ પર. This is all theoretical part. Okay, the rate of return on the 1,20,000 rupees the 20% basis per share, and that for the alternative additions is a 15%. Both of these return exist the minimum required. Some values and might appear that the $2 million investment should be recommended because it yield and the greater amount of the profit per year. However, a comparison of the incremental investment because of the proposal show that the extra investment of 8 lakh gives to the profit of only 60,000 rupees, or under incremental return of 7.5%, and there is a simply company is a $2 million અને કે 2 કરોડ ઓફ ધ ઇન્વેસ્ટ કરવામાં આવે છે આટલું, and would be more profitable to accept the 12 lakh proposals and put the other 8 lakh in another investment at the indicated 14 percentage return. A general rule of making comparison of alternative investment can be stated as follows: the minimum investment which will be give the necessary functional result, and the required rate of return should always be accepted unless there is a specific reasons for accepting an alternative investment require more initial capital when alternative investment are available. Therefore the base plan would be the requiring the minimum acceptable investment, and the alternative investment should be compared with the base plan, and the additional capital would not be invested unless and the acceptable incremental return of some other distinct. Some advantages could be shown in this basis. In the alternative, when an investment must be made, the design of an economics encounters situation where it is the absolutely necessary to make an investment, and the only choice available is among various alternatives. An example of this might to be found in the design of a plant requiring an evaporation. Okay, most often finish this chapter based on this single effect evaporator would be satisfactory operation. However, the operating expenses would be lower if multiple effect evaporator were used because of the reduction in steam consumptions. Under this condition, the best number of effect could be determined by comparing the increased saving with the investment required for each additional effect. ગ્રાફિકલી સિસ્ટમના બેસિસ પર છે. આ ગ્રાફ જોઈ લો એકવાર. Now this is a required return of the 15% only. The number of the required total variable expenses dollars per year and versus the required investment. Okay, so graphically a representation showing this kind of the investment. Some comparison is presented in a figure 10.4. The base of plan for alternative investment comparison of for the type discussion regarding the preceding paragraph would be the minimum investment which gives the necessary functional result. The alternative investments would be then the compared with the some base plan, and an additional investment would be recommended only if give the defined advantages. Okay, when the investment comparison are made, Alternative investment requiring more initial capital are compared only with lower investment, which have been found to be the acceptable. Okay, consider in a example which an investment of the 50,000 will give a desired result, while the alternative investment 60,000 and the 70,000 will give the same result with less annual expenses. Suppose that comparison between the 60,000 and 50,000 cases shows that 60,000 investment to be unacceptable. Certainly, there would be no reason of to give further consideration to the 60,000 investment. And the next comparison should be between the 70,000 and 50,000 cases. Chair. This type of reasoning in which alternatives are compared in pairs on mutually exclusive basis is illustrated in the following simplified example. An example to illustrate the principle of alternative investment analysis na basis par છે. In making a choice among various alternative investment, it is necessary to recognize the need to compare one investment to the another on a mutually exclusive basis in such a manner that the return on the incremental investment is satisfactory. The following example illustrates this principle. An existing plant has been operating in such a way that a large amount of heat is being lost in the waste gases. It has been proposed to save money by recovering the heat that is now being lost. For different heat exchanger have been designed to recover the heat and the all prices. The cost and saving have been calculated for each of the design. The result of this calculation are presented in the following basis. Okay, ચાર્ટ છે જોઈ લો એક વખત ખાસ. ટોટલ ઇનિશિયલ ઇન્સ્ટોલ કોસ્ટ છે ડોલર પર, અલગ અલગ કોલમ વાઇઝ. ઓપરેટિંગ કોસ્ટ કેટલો છે, ફિક્સ ચાર્જ કેટલો છે, વેલ્યુ ઓફ હીટ અસીવડ કેટલી છે. આ પછી ધીસ ઇઝ ઓલ્ટરનેટિવ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ. The company of the charge in the plant demand as at least 10% annual return based on the initial investment. For any unnecessary investment, only one of the four design can be accepted, and neglecting effect due to the income taxes and the time value of money, which if any of the four design should be recommended. The first step is the solution of this example. The problem is to determine the amount of money saved per year for each design, from which is the annual percentage returned on the initial investment can be determined. The net annual savings equal the value of heat save minus sum of the operating cost and fixed cost charge. This is the calculation. Annual saving 4100 minus 0.2 multiplied 10,000 minus 10 is equal to $2,000. यानी कि 2,000 million. Oh sorry, ડોલર પર છે. એન્યુઅલ પર્સન્ટેજ કેટલો છે? 20% આવશે. For design number of 2 annual savings, and the 6,000 minus 0.2 16,000 minus 100 is equal to 2700. Annual percent returned 2700 by 6,000 100 is equal to 6.9%. For design number of 3 annual saving 6900 minus 0.2 multiply 20,000 minus 100 is equal to 2800. The annual percent return કેટલું છે 2800 by 20,000 આટલું છે. આ કેલ્ક્યુલેશન પાર્ટ છે. This is the indication part, alternative investment, all discussion is there. Okay, the completely chapter is over. Minimum rate of cost કેટલો આવે છે તે છે, ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ ઇન્ક્રીમેન્ટ કેટલું આવે છે તે બી છે, સાથે સાથે ગ્રાફિકલ સિસ્ટમમાં બતાવેલું છે. ઓકે, થેન્ક યુ સો મચ.